Nobody really talks about this. It kind of gets looked over. And it's time that we bring some light to that situation here at the sit down. So without further ado, let's get into it. Roll the clip.
Well, new developments in a case that shocked the country. The teacher impregnated by her 8th grade student will face a judge for the first time this morning.
Prosecutors say 24-year-old Alexandra Vera, a teacher at Stovall Middle School, not only engaged in a sexual relationship with one of her 13-year-old students, the mother of one also got pregnant by the 8th grader. But in court documents, Vera says the student's parents knew about the relationship and they approved of it, allowing the teen to spend the night at Vera's home in Spring, where they would engage in sex on a regular basis. She told an investigator she would drop him off at home in the morning so he could catch the bus to school. The relationship allegedly lasted for 4 months, ending in January with a pregnancy that Vera terminated. Vera turned herself in on Wednesday morning. She's currently out on bond. Again, she now faces 1 count of continuous sexual abuse of a child.
First off, what kind of fucking parents are those?
There's a large abundance of these stories. I know you guys don't really hear about these situations like that, but it happens rather frequently. We do see about the male teachers that do it, but there is a significant amount of female teachers. I often see in all over the place, all over the country, that some female teacher has gotten busted for sleeping with her student and everything. And it's like it really kind of comes up for here and there, and then it goes away and everybody acts like it doesn't happen until the next one pops up. But it's frequent. It happens a lot. And it doesn't get spoken about in depth like we're actually unpacking and discovering and talking about here today. Let's get back to it.
32-year-old Shelley Dufresne and 24-year-old Rachel Respis, 2 Destrehan High English teachers, are now facing felony charges out of Jefferson Parish. Kenner Police Chief Michael Glazer now saying the 2 met with a Destrehan High student after a football game on September 12th and then drove to Respis's Kenner apartment, where the 3 had sex simultaneously that lasted until the early morning hours of the 13th.
People automatically are starting to not take care and pay attention to young men, and this is what shapes them into the problematic males that you start seeing once they get older. That's when it becomes a real problem, and then everybody wants to act like this person was crazy or this person was this and this person was that. We got it. Like, this is very serious, you guys. You can develop sexual problems by being exposed to things like that just way too early.
I guess the responsibility is the safety and education of children. And when it goes outside those lines, I do believe the community should be outraged.
The student, who authorities say is a junior at Destrehan High, is now 17 but was 16 when the alleged relationships began. Former students telling us the 3 had been hot and heavy for some time, meeting for sex multiple times, and documenting some of their encounters on video.
This Rachel Respis was an English teacher of the victim last school year. So she did have some type of contact and knew him. Shelley Dufresne is his current teacher.
For Shelley Dufresne, this is her 2nd trip to jail in 1 week.
Is extremely disappointing. This is why it keeps happening over and over again. Man, if that was a man, they would have slammed him under the jail. But these women keep getting probation and 1 year and all these little slaps on the wrist to the point where they don't feel a real consequence. And this is why it keeps happening. These women need to be treated and charged the same way a man will be charged. But
this is America. Yeah. Don't catch you slipping now. Don't catch you slipping now.
This type of stuff gets minimized a great deal, and people don't like to look at or explore the ideology of women being predators. So they really try to just make it look like something that's like it's a very large thing that happens with men, because they always try to associate with women, so supposedly being, more susceptible to manipulation and intimidation from a man. So they like to, for sure, paint the situation that a man is more influential and more predatory. There's nothing saying that women are not smart enough and intelligent enough to be equally as capable to do the exact same thing. So if they can utilize their intelligence and their intellect to manipulate, seduce, and take advantage of a younger, undeveloped, unsuspecting man, or young man, shall I say, not man, it needs to have the exact same attention and the exact same magnitude of consequence. It's not a very different thing. They would like you to believe that it is, but it does as much damage emotionally, mentally, and psychologically to a young boy that it does to a young girl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said. Men and women, both of us, we're not perfect.
Correct.
We know this. Something is being pushed that men are a certain way and women are not. We have to bring the facts to you guys to show you that that is not true. Placing a woman in a position doesn't mean that she's going to be Mother Teresa. Correct. You know, and we need to bring that out so that men can see and take note. It's always been that for years. It's always been pointing at the guys. When it comes down to things that are wrong, you have men who are wrong, and then you had women saying, we would never do this. And now, you know, it's out that they'll do those things too, you know. So
it's being revealed. They're attractive women. There's no shortage of them being able to easily, I mean, for God's sakes, they can go to a club and yell out and take home whoever they want to.
Fellas, it's time that we really take a look at this, really reevaluate things. Just because she's a woman
doesn't mean she's incapable.
We out of here. We'll talk to y'all later.
Take care.
Peace.